glad that.
Yeah, you're either pregnant or have leprosy.
All right.
Pregnant.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. We are live. This is Tabletop BS.
Mm-hmm.
And today we have with us MrHoward123 on Twitch. And I guess just start out by tell us a little bit about yourself.
Like you said, my name is MrHoward123. I am a variety streamer. I'm also a wrestling fan, and I try to work out here and there. But I really like fighting games. I stream a lot of fighting games. I do fighting game tutorial videos, and then I also play whatever I feel like playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, good stuff. How long have you been doing it?
About since 2012.
So streaming since 2012?
Yes.
Okay, so how long have you been gaming then?
Since I was 4.
Good grief. Well done,
that's the way
sir.
to do it.
Well done.
Hey, if you find something that you love and you try to make it a job, is it really a job?
Yeah. So mainly combat fighting games, yeah?
Yeah.
So what are some names, some titles you like?
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom,
Right.
Tekken.
Yep.
But Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom are my favorites.
Okay. So favorite fighter?
Fighter. It depends on which version.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't
you're
know
telling me
any of these
E Honda, like verse 1, verse
I don't play E Honda in any game.
Okay.
First of all, but in every version of the game,
Uh-huh.
there's different characters I play. Yes.
Okay. If you had to pick, so I'm thinking M. Bison. I don't know. I love those are the one video I love those video games more than anything else. Combat, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, absolutely.
stand-up fighting games.
Yeah. So, but I'm terrible at them. So I'm thinking M. Bison, but that's probably a super elementary answer.
I mean, that was like Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
He's in Street Fighter 5 as well.
Watch out.
Right. He
So
also
what
makes it in the movie.
He does. Great. Not a good movie. So what is so talk? Which players do you like playing? Give me a couple.
In Street Fighter 5, I play Nash, which is he used to be Charlie, but he's Nash now.
Yep.
And I fool around with Ryu and fool around with Ibuki.
Yeah.
But Nash is my main.
So have you seen? It's Peter. Oh, what is it? It's like it's this comedian, and he has all of these. He's basically so it's kind of like a skit, right? And it's like Key and Peele, right? So he has all the Street Fighter guys come in, and it's like, hey, we had these problems with legal. And he talks, he has Blanca come in, right? And he was like, hey, you can't electrocute people. Or anyway, so really, really funny. I'll find it. It's Peter something or other. But I'll make sure you get the link to it. It is hilarious. He has Ryu in there. And the whole thing with Ryu is he was like, hey, look, we're having a hard time with some of the ADA compliance, and we need to subtitle some of the hearing impaired. So I'm repeating. I'm not inventing. Right. Okay.
We did not
so the guy's sitting there in the comedians. He's like, okay, so some of the hearing impaired players that we need, subtitles. And so he has them like, so what do you say when you uppercut somebody? And he says it, and you can't tell what it means. And then what do you do when you do the hurricane kick? And it is so funny, dude. It is absolute. But he has all the characters with M Bison is in there. He has M Bison come in. And you can tell it's old because he's like, look, you want to fly everybody out to all these locations, right? Do you need to go to Spain to fight Vega? What if we just fly everybody into Vegas, And the accountants are having a really hard time making sense. But anyway, obviously I'm not nailing the delivery because it's a hilarious little bit.
We're going to have to look that up then.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
So big Street Fighter, big Mortal Kombat. What made you want to start streaming? So streaming in 2012, what did that look like?
Oh, I can tell you how it looked for me. When I first got here, there's a website called the SRK. And it's where all the fighting game players go, look for information, look for gatherings, look for that. This was before Facebook.
Right.
I mean, Facebook was big, but it wasn't big with the groups.
Yeah, it was
Right.
Tinder.
Yeah.
And then stalking your old girlfriend.
It wasn't a place to collaborate.
Yeah. So I found Street Fighter players in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I started going to their gatherings and stuff like that. And back then I didn't really stream. I just had like a Hapag recorder or whatever. And they were playing all these matches, and I'm like, man, you got. And I was horrible back then, by the way.
Really?
Like, I was horrible. Like I was the type of person that could beat all my friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Once you get into like where this is a competition.
Yeah, the competitive side of it, I had like no knowledge of.
Okay.
So when I got there, I was like, damn, y'all are really good, and I was like, I can't hang with you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'll tell you what, I can record your matches for you.
Yeah.
So I started recording the matches and started recording. Like they'll have tournaments, I'll record their matches and put it on YouTube, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So because no one else was doing it.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. Then eventually I started getting actual hardware for streaming, and eventually it just got better and better. And then I started streaming their events.
So how much better did Twitch improve when it was purchased by Amazon? Did you notice a big
No.
increase? No.
I didn't. I mean,
Man.
The biggest thing I noticed is when they did the Amazon Prime thing and they started doing the free subs.
Yep.
That helped out a lot, like as far as income with streamers and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, they didn't want to just throw $5 to somebody they didn't know.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then they had the free Prime. It was like, well, I'll give it to you because I'm not, I'm not using it. So
Yeah. I keep
So
waiting for
that
them for that to auto renew instead of like having to go back and like
every
because
month.
every month, dude, I'm not kidding, man. I'm like, how do I use my Amazon Prime? Blah, blah, blah.
I literally
You know?
call people. I'm like, hey, can you resub for me?
Yeah.
Resub for me. Like,
Yeah, man, for sure.
And then another thing was like I was calling friends that aren't in the games, but they have Amazon Prime. I was like, create a Twitch account.
Like,
Yeah.
and if you
And then
don't, I
it's
know you
free.
have $5, right?
It's free, and it literally gives me a little side money.
Right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
they take 30%. What do they take?
No, it's
I think it's
$2.
half. Isn't it half? I think it's $2.50.
Look,
Oh,
if
okay,
you're
cool.
asking us, I don't know.
I thought it was $2.50. I might.
No one
No, you
follows
know what?
my
I-
Twitch account.
I do think it's right because
Yeah.
it is half, and
Yeah.
I think that the subscriptions now are $5. I think they used to be $4,
Something
and then
like
they
that,
just
yeah.
went up to $5.
So so 2012, right? Super. I mean, you were just going to meetups, right? So
Yeah,
you guys,
yeah.
you hook up with people on MySpace, and then you go to some get together. What was that like? Because you're a cool looking guy, right? Then you go and you're like, you just followed the BO. Like, how did you find the groups? Like what? Because look, I mean, let's be stereotypical, right? Some of those are true.
Well, yeah, some of them are true, but
Did a lot of guys just like you?
okay. To paint the picture, in 2012, I was 40 pounds lighter than I am now.
Oh,
So
Whoa.
I was bony, scrawny,
Yeah,
very shy, soft-spoken, didn't speak to anybody. I was comfortable typing on a keyboard, but
Yeah.
like speaking to people in person, it was just like not my thing. But luckily, a lot of gamers are like that.
Yeah.
They're the same way. So
Right.
eventually I got comfortable. But it was weird at first, but then it felt cool because everybody there was into the same thing I was into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So how do you deal with? So did you feel? Oh, sorry. Did you feel like a stereotypical nerd, right? A gamer. Do you know what I mean?
like going into that,
Look, have you ever been to a Comic-Con or something?
yes.
Okay.
And I've cosplayed at a Comic-Con.
Oh, see, so
Right,
so
alright.
how do you feel? Because this is something people when they find out like you play Dungeons and Dragons, yeah, and I read comic books actively. And
Yeah.
if I was better at video games, I'd play video games. I'm terrible at them. So people are like, "You what?" You know, and so
I
that's
get that a lot. I get
yeah.
that a lot.
So how did you handle that? Is it something you actively go out and try to change? What about in your own community and family? I mean, I'd be really interested to know how you tackle that.
I never thought of it as something to tackle. Like I have Baby Mario and Yoshi tattooed on my arm, and then
so you're not hiding it.
I have a Proto Man from Mega Man. Yeah, exactly.
Well done, sir.
I'm not hiding it at all. So a lot of times people
So is that 40 pounds lighter? Or are these new?
they're
That's a
not
good
not
question.
40 pounds lighter,
Yeah.
but they're not new. They're about
Okay.
3 years old.
Okay.
So
In the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
way.
so like a lot of people hear that I'm a gamer, or they'll find out that I'm a gamer, or I'll meet somebody and then they request me as a friend on Facebook, and then they see the gamer stuff
Like
on
your
it.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah, or like that right there where he just pulled up.
Yep.
The background, like,
Is this
Yeah.
you cosplaying as Spider-Man?
yes, that's me.
Oh,
Cosplay
that's
as a-
fantastic.
Dude.
And I'm at a tournament right there.
So was it hard to see?
Yes.
Did you did you use that as an excuse of why you lost?
I didn't lose. What do you?
Oh,
That is how good he
I am
is.
ashamed. Yeah, I am ashamed.
Spider-Man.
So you have a Spider-Man costume, but there is a Deadpool pose that I saw.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
That guy.
I mean,
A little,
Yeah.
a little-
If you got it, you got to flaunt it.
Hey,
That's the,
I love Spider-Man, but I do act like Deadpool.
Okay, how did you feel about it? Do you read Spider-Man right now?
No.
So
Not anymore.
Okay, so Brian Bendez, right, used to write for Spider-Man. Fantastic. He wrote the new Spider-Man. He was it's like an alternate universe. He was Hispanic. Great author. But there are people who love and hate him. But if you don't actively read, then that's
No.
You're
not
talking
relevant
about Miles
conversation.
Morales?
Yeah, Miles Morales. Yeah,
Oh, my gosh.
yeah,
I love Miles too.
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's amazing. So 40 pounds lighter. You start going. You kind of like your buy-in is streaming for these guys, and then you start competing. Like, you just learning? Are you practicing?
I'm learning. I basically learn from the people in the community. Like,
Yeah.
asking them questions and like how to play, what to do, and I eventually learned how to play.
Yeah.
And then I
Now
started
you were already the best of your friends.
my friends, yes,
Yeah.
that weren't. They were gamers, but they weren't fighting game players.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Benji and Steve, you want to?
You guys want to
Yeah.
come over and play some
Yeah.
Mario Kart?
Got it. Okay,
As,
good.
as,
the
ca- as
best.
casual as casual can get. That's how
Sure.
my friends were when it came to fighting games.
Okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
and then when I got to the FGC, the fighting game community here, yeah, they kind of blew my mind, and then I just learned as much as I could from them, and then I started competing with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I just moved down from, I was most recently in Portland, right? And because it's so cold and so dark, right? And gloomy. If it's not, even in the summer, it'll rain, right? Beautiful. But it you got a lot of indoors kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so huge gaming community, huge everything, right? That's a big deal. Comic-Cons are enormous. And they have PAX. Everything's great up there. So one of the things that they would have, and I wished I could have played, but I was like you, 40 pounds ago, but not lost. Anyway, so I wish I was
how
like
many
you,
kids ago
because they had, like, you would go in these Comic-Cons and they would have a whole section of just people playing Tekken. Or
Yeah.
people
Right.
playing, because there's other than like Mario Kart, it's like, hey, let's versus. And there is no other, like, you can't play Elder Scrolls or The Witcher, right? That's not collaborative. But
No RPG players there.
yeah, so
Arcade
who did Capcom? Who's the developer for the Capcom? Who developed Tekken?
Namco.
Okay, so Namco was just coming out with like the new Tekken. Which number is it? Like 34,
Seven.
like I said. And it's a lot though. And
Right.
but they were debuting it there, and so they had guys like you slaying on it, right? Doing these tricks. You're like, how did you know this? Like, how'd you find the moves? Anyway, I would love to have been like that, but I was like super bashful. I'm like, I'm gonna go there and stand in line and be killed. Like, that guy, he shot fireballs out of his hands. Like, how did he do that? So
Well, the gatherings I went to when I first I moved to San Antonio in 2010, and then eventually, like, I found on SRK, and it was at someone's house, so it wasn't like a big open thing where people were just coming up and standing in line and stuff. It was we had a whole bunch of
the
setups.
attorney was at a house.
Well, the gathering. Well, we have gatherings where we just play and learn and things like that, and then we have tournaments elsewhere. But this was just a house gathering, and we were at a house, and there were like 7, 8, 9 setups.
Yeah.
For the game, and you just sit down with somebody and you just play for hours learning. So
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
You lose, then they tell you why you lost, then you try
Yeah.
again.
Super helpful community.
Yeah. Super
So how many FGC? So how many members active do you see at a gathering like that?
It depends. It really depends. It depends on where it is. Like we don't have to meet up in houses anymore. So we meet at Otaku Cafe.
Yeah.
Which you've heard of that place?
Yeah.
Okay, we meet there. We meet there on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
So we play, and then we have a monthly, the last Saturday of every month, where we do a big tournament.
Yeah. Is it like everybody buys in, or
Yeah. You pay an entry fee to get into the venue. I don't remember how much it is, but because if you bring a setup, you get in for free, and I usually bring a setup.
Yeah.
So you get in for free, and then you pay $10 for whatever game you want to play.
Yeah.
So they usually have 4 to 5 games every.
Yeah. See, I would need something that was controlled like that. Otherwise, I'd lose my house. I'm like, here's my Audi, right? Like, there you go. Yeah, it'd be bad, and I would lose
slips.
it. Yeah, it would be very bad. I owe you. So,
so at these championships, it's cash prizes and everything.
Oh yeah. We pay $10 per game, so the $10 goes into the pot, and however many people, if 20 people is $200 in the pot, and then they split it either 60 30 10 or 70 20 10 for first, second, and third place.
Most amount of money you won at a monthly meetup. This is the sales pitch for FGC. You're gonna have massive. All 2 viewers of the podcast are going to have.
I don't want to disclose that information.
Okay. How about
it's a very small amount though, because third place
north of 100.
No, not at a local.
No,
Okay.
So it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Right. You're buying some pizzas and having fun.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about the demographic of a normal meetup, right? So girls, guys, ages.
It's usually guys, maybe 18 to
not 18.
How old am I?
38.
Yeah, I'm 38. I'm 38.
I'm not 38, but
238.
Yeah, 238, 40 even. And then the girls usually consist of the guys' girlfriends that they bring. So.
What is that? Because it's kind of like, oh, hey, we're gonna go watch a family movie, and then you take them to like Deadpool, and they're like, what? How surprised are the females when they go?
It's a lot different now. Usually the females already know. They already know what their counterpart is into. They know what to expect. They know that he's gonna go over there and sit down, and I'm gonna sit back here and chill on my phone and play Candy Crush or whatever she does.
Brother Howard has a Yoji tattoo. Got it.
So what's funny is, so I love all things video games, but I played Mortal Kombat versus my wife like years ago, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stop her. She doesn't know what she's doing. I couldn't get a punch in. I couldn't get up. She was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, and she just kept getting over here every time. I would get up, I'm like, I'm pushing back. I should be able to block this.
Yeah,
that's not how you block in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no. It lasted a whole like 30 seconds of her winning like 3 rounds in a row. I was like, okay, all right, well, I guess I'm never playing this again.
Yeah. So how do you
so she
fight
would take
that?
me to this fighting game.
Yeah, well, and come home with $40.
Yeah,
so how do you how do you stop the getting angry? My wife and I play Dark to Mario, and it gets it can get rough. It's
a pretty passive.
Yeah, somebody's sleeping on the couch, and so how do you stay cool, especially in like a learning environment like that?
Well, if you're in a learning environment, you're learning, and if someone's beating you, you need to learn how to beat them. You need to learn what you're doing wrong, and like whenever you get into something competitive, you have to always know that there's always going to be somebody better than you.
Yep.
And finding someone, if you're the best in your city or wherever you are, then you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
So
who is the best in San Antonio?
Depends on
who needs to go move to the East Coast.
It's a different person for every game.
Okay.
So, like I really can't say.
Yeah. Look at how diplomatic he's being.
He is being
he doesn't want to get blacklisted.
He's cautious. Yeah. I mean, You don't want to get uninvited from El Taco Cafe.
No.
El Taco.
No,
What?
What was the place?
I don't think he's been there before.
I've never been
Roger.
there.
I don't think you'll eat. I mean, we are in San Antonio, but it's not called El Taco.
I normally go to Torchy's Tacos or Los Palitos. Like, those are my two go-to places.
Yeah. So next time, all you have to do is when you go there, right, go to El Palito and be like, hey, where's the FGC meetup group for the video games?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just ask them. They'll point it to you.
I'm sure that
They'll
will.
tell you where it's
Yeah.
at.
The chef at least will know.
For sure. Yep. Just ask the maitre d', right? So, been playing since you were 4. Actively trying to get better in the part of the community since 2012.
Yeah.
So what have you seen change since 2012 over the 7 years, 2019?
Me or with the
Everything. Well, what has changed? How has the community changed over the past 7 years?
changed significantly. When I first got here,